Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to look at my Singapore holly. This is a new tree that I just got, it's probably been a month ago now. Just had it sitting outside, getting used to my setup, lighting conditions, water, and all that good stuff. This is, like I said, it's a new tree I ordered from Weigert's. I did an unboxing video here a couple weeks ago. And what I'm trying to do is increase my tropical varieties, flowering varieties. I want to, try different trees. Also, I really like the flowering aspect of them. So as you can see, this one's got a couple. I'll try to zoom in here a little bit. Got a couple blooms on it, kind of a unique bloom, and it's been growing decent. And I really like the root base we've got going on here. It's just a gnarly looking little clump style tree. Looking at it, trying to decide what I want the front to be. That could be it, but I kind of like how this branch is coming out to fill in the back. So I'm kind of thinking this is going to be the back. And since this really doesn't have any branches down low that are pointing out, this one maybe a little bit, but it's still, I think, high enough, and it's kind of going up a little bit. So I think this is going to be our front. Even though I like the way the roots look on this side better, maybe once I get it out of this soil, maybe I can expose a little bit more in the front, but we'll see. So we're going to put it in a new pot, but first let's get it out of this one and kind of see what's going on with it. I'll put it in this tray here so I don't make a mess. And one thing that I've noticed, this holly, these leaves are really pointy. So I might need to put some gloves on if I'm going to try to grab it down here low enough. But yeah, I grabbed this the wrong way the other day, and boy, I pulled my arm away and had one of the leaves stuck in my arm. So got to be careful on this guy. Like I said, this is a new species for me, so I tend to be really conservative. So like I said, it's been acclimating in my sun conditions for the last month. And even though I think this came from Weigert's, like I said, and they're out of Florida, this time of year, temperature is not much different. Humidity down there may be a little bit more, but I always like to give them time to acclimate. And then on top of that, I treat my new trees really conservative. I take a real conservative approach because I want to keep the tree healthy and kind of learn, and I'm not in a hurry. So I kind of just want to see how the tree responds, how it grows, when it flowers, how long do the flowers stay on, all that good stuff. So I do kind of take my time. I don't do a lot of aggressive styling at the beginning, unless it's something that I'm really familiar with, like a portulacaria. I tend to do a little bit more with those just because I've been growing those for, I don't know, more than a dozen years, 12, 15 years. So I've got a lot of experience with those. But these that are kind of newer to me, I go a little bit slower. So we'll get this one repotted today. Probably won't do any pruning. I may take off some of these longer shoots or something, but be very minimal. And the soil that most of my trees that I've gotten from Weigert's is this really organic stuff that the way I water, this holds a lot of water. I use a pretty free draining soil mix in all my trees, so kind of got that watering cadence down. And so that's why I had to learn a little bit on this one, just to make sure I wasn't over watering, because this soil does, like I said, holds on to water a lot more than my mix does. So we'll get it in my mix and then just kind of let it recover. I'm not going to do a whole lot of root work here. I'm just going to get enough soil off. I can get it in a pot, get some of the new roots kind of growing into the new soil, but I'll keep a fair amount of this native soil on it. But it's like I said, I don't want to shock it too much just because I'm not familiar with the tree. Like a Portulacaria, I'd strip it down, bare root it, cut it, because those are pretty much, I'm used to them, got experience with them, and with that experience, I know that they're kind of bulletproof. So yeah, it looks like we got some decent roots that I can get exposed up here on top to add to that gnarly looking little clump style. So that's pretty encouraging. Not sure if I'll leave all of them exposed, but it's like I said, I don't want to do too much to upset the tree. But as time progresses and I repot it a few more times, I'll raise it up a little bit each time in the pot just to expose more of the roots. Okay. Ouch. There we go. That's one of the, like little needles on these things. Almost feel like when you buy a tree like this, it should have a disclaimer on it that you need to stock up on bandages or wear gloves or something. Or maybe if you just know that hollies are kind of prickly trees, maybe it doesn't, but I didn't think about that because I don't have any holly bushes or trees around here. So all right, so that's pretty good there. Let me see. And the pot that I'm going to put it in is this, I think it'll go quite nice in this rock planter. So let me get it up here. Just with the little clump nature of it and how kind of gnarly the trunk is, I think it'll look good in there if I can get it in there. It may be a little bit too snug. Let me see if I can get a little bit more of the soil off without doing a whole lot to the roots, but we may have to change gears and put it in a different pot. If I knew more about this tree and know that I could get away with some decent root pruning, I would thin it down and get it in this pot. But like I said, I would rather keep the tree healthy than do something that I want it to look like. So I'm thinking it might just have to go into a little spider over there. Let me see if I can get him taken care of. It may have to go into a different pot. Let me try this one more time, and like I said, we may have to switch gears and get him in a different one. But I do think, I don't know, now it's getting in there. I just really like the way this rugged rock is. And then having that tree in there I just really like the way that looks. Just doesn't give it a lot of room to grow though. Yeah, let me go check out my stash of pots and see if we can get something a little bit bigger. All right, went through my pots and kind of came up with maybe this guy here. And it's got me about the same depth, but it's just got a lot more interior space. And I think it'll be a nice complement to the flowers, or I guess not complement, just I think it'll go well with, because I think when I think complements and color wise, it's the opposite, but it just kind of accents, I think, the foliage color of this tree. And I think it'll look just fine in there. That way the leaves kind of are the same color as the pot. Got a little dust on it, but take care of that in a minute. Yeah, I think that'll work, and then kind of makes the leaves or the blooms kind of pop out. So I think that'll work just fine. So let's go ahead and put it in this one. Let me set it over here for a minute and get some soil in here. I've got the screens in it. And as low as this is sitting, I don't think I'm gonna wire it in. I think it'll be fine not wiring it, because the root base is pretty wide. I think it'll be stable enough. So just kind of spinning this around here back and forth just to settle it down into the soil. I think I want it off to the left for now. Just trying to get down here low enough to look at the level and kind of where the roots are falling in. Maybe a little bit farther to the left. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be just about it. Maybe twist it this way just a bit so this branch comes more off to the left and not such an eye poker. Tilt it up a little bit so you can kind of see how it's going to look at pot level. Yeah, I think it's got enough roots exposed there. It's offset just to the left a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll be nice and stable. So yeah, let's go ahead and just looking at it from the back to front here. It's got a little bit lean to the front, which is perfect. But yeah, let me go ahead and fill that up the rest of the way. I still like the rock planter, but I think I'm liking this one just as well. It's really does make the leaves pop out, and really liking it. So it doesn't always work out the way you think it's going to, but I think the tree will be a lot happier in this pot. And that's my number one goal. Happy trees. Just make sure I'm getting this nestled in there good. Yeah, I'm really liking these roots, the way they look. Keep them exposed a little bit. Like I said, initially I'll probably mound some soil up around it just to keep it all happy, and gradually start moving it away. Yeah, sometimes, I use the chopstick at first, but then I'll just kind of tap on it pretty aggressively. It just helps, the vibrations just help settle the soil in too. And just check it, just make sure it feels pretty tight in there. Still got a little bit that's settling in back here, so had some looser roots back here, but we'll get those all settled in there. A little bit more. Like I said, soil is a little higher than I normally like, but I can remove some once I know the tree's healthy. Yeah, I think that is going to just about do it, I think. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this. Like I said, it really accents the leaves, and to me it just makes the blooms pop a little more. I hope that's coming through on the camera as well as I can see it in person. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Just getting a low battery warning on my camera, so I think we'll maybe just do that little prune, knock that down some, and then I think we'll go ahead and end the video. Let me give you a spin around. There's the front, there's the left side, there's the back, there's the right side, and back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.